I have a question that I really want you to think about, and I'd love for you to answer this in your mind. And that is, what do you think is the biggest lie that most of society has bought into? Now, that answer is totally subjective. And I asked this question a week ago on my Facebook page, and there were so many different answers, obviously, but some people got really triggered by other people's answers because it didn't align with what they believe. And there's so many different answers from in my opinion to that question. I believe that one of the biggest lies is, people believing that we need meat for protein and so on. But one of them, and it's a very common illusion that I bought into, and sometimes I still go into it, and that is believing that you are your mind. And any time that I find myself getting in a negative emotional state, the way that I get out of that is from moving my body around, but also reminding myself that the thoughts that I think aren't me. It's just the conditioning from growing up that I had. You see, the thoughts that you think right now has largely been it's largely based upon your conditioning growing up, from what you saw growing up, from what you heard growing up, from what you experienced growing up. The games that you played, the magazines that you read, the teachers that you had at school, the parents that you have, the friends that you surrounded yourself with, the YouTube videos that you watch. All of those things have an imprint in your subconscious mind that determines the thoughts that you think, that determines how you act. But the very second that you remember and realize that the thoughts that I'm thinking aren't me, it's just the way that I've been conditioned, you feel free. Quick little story. I remember when I came out of school, and I can't remember how old I was, like 16, 17, and I had nothing to do. I was working at an Indian restaurant, so I remember after work, I'd get all this free Indian food, and I'd just sit down in front of the TV and just play the Xbox all night, or PlayStation, Xbox. And I'd play Call of Duty. And I remember I would play this for hours. And I remember one time, multiple times, when I was driving with my mum, and I was in the passenger side. And I remember we were just going through this sea of people, right? Driving past this sea of people, we're not killing people, but driving past this sea of people. And I remember just pretending that I had a gun in my hand, shooting every single human in sight. That wasn't me. That's not the truth of me. That was just conditioning from the games that I was playing. But if some people have some crazy thoughts, but the very second that you go, oh yeah, that was this movie that I watched, or that was this person I'm hanging around, or that was from this YouTube video I watched, or this movie it was all based upon the seeds that you're planting in your mind. If you can disassociate from you believing that you are your mind, your thoughts, freedom will come. And I believe that that is one of the biggest illusions that most people have bought into. Most people who buy into that they are their thoughts, they get labeled that they have anxiety, or they end up feeling depressed because they have all these crazy thoughts. And some people self-diagnose themselves that they have anxiety, or they have depression. But a big part of, I believe, this is not absolute truth, but I believe a big part of healing yourself emotionally is disassociating yourself from your thoughts. And if you can start to watch your thoughts, see them pass by like cars in traffic, you're no longer attached. You're free. So what I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. So leave a comment down below. But also, what do you feel like is the biggest lie that most of society has bought into? So leave a comment down below your thoughts on this video, and also your answer to that question as well, because I'm genuinely curious about your perspective. So leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought, and until I see you guys in the next video, remember to love all living things, and most importantly, love thyself.